Shouts out Big Steve.
Shout out Michael Bisbin. UFC, road to UFC, I should say. Right, we're going to try bet it. The odds are out as of this morning. Straight onto it. I did a bit of tape. There was no point doing a show till we have odds because this is a betting show after all. So yeah, we'll see what we can make of these odds. Obviously, the limits are only small. They're on Bet Online, but I'll give you the breakdowns. You know, I do have a abundance mindset. I'm not scared to give out my leans. I'm not scared of other people destroying the lines. I believe there's plenty of value to go around, and I might even lie to you and give you the wrong leans so you can give me a better line. I'm kidding. I would never do that. Alrighty. Pepe Silvia, shout out. Thanks for being in here once again, my friend. What a guy, always supporting me. All right, let's get into it, right? So a lot of these low level, there are a lot of weird fighters that haven't fought many people. So I'm not going to waste too much of my time. I've got training in like half an hour, so I'll do what I can, and then I'll move on to episodes 3 and 4, hopefully tomorrow at some point. So first fight, Fang versus Arisa Matsuda. Yeah, this fight is shithouse, not really interested. Matsuda reminds me of that doctor chick that recently beat Fang in the finale. She's just a decision machine, a bit of a nothing. And, you know, Fang is a big favorite. She had a lot of hype on previous road to UFC. She made it to the final, and then she got absolutely stiffened. She got stiffened by a girl way shorter than her with a head kick. So, you know, Matsuda gives me those same vibes. Fang should beat her. I think Matsuda might even be worse than the other doctor chick, but who knows? You know, Fang is a big favorite. A lot of people parlayed her last time. She's a bit overrated to me, but I'm not interested in anything. I'll move on. If I have the balls to tape this Arisa Matsuda in detail, I will do it for a potential dog shot. But yeah, otherwise, whatever. Icelandic farts. I know this is like a month and a half away or so, but I really like Royval over Cup. What do you think of that? Well, you know you're not getting an answer over me, but I will try answer it. I will say Royval is going to have miles more volume over Cup, especially it's in a 5-rounder, right? So obviously Cup is life to kill him. Royval's been dropped many times, although he is very durable. So we'll see. You know, Cup might get stuck staring at him, but you know, once Cup gets going, I don't think Royval is someone that's hard to hit. Moisadio, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Correct. Aussie Fight Fan, Wednesday morning breakdowns. Let's get it. Let's get it indeed. This is tomorrow night for me. So Thursday, 9 p.m. after training. So I might actually leave a bit early so I catch the show and not be late. So dedication. All right. Wataru Yamauchi, Nazrai Badibai. Yeah, this one right here. I started taping this without odds, and then I gave it my own lines to try to predict where these fights should be capped. And I gave this a pick'em. You know, Yamauchi is basically a striker versus grappler. Badabai hasn't fought anyone good. The best guy he's fought is Tuman Barrel, another Mongolian who's currently in the UFC. He backpacked him, and then Tuman Barrel backpacked him in round 2 and submitted him. So, you know, Tuman Barrel is not the best grappler. He lost to Carlos Hernandez due to being grappled for 3 rounds. So that just tells you maybe the level. So basically, there's not enough tape Badabai to see, you know, how would he go against a striker. There's not too much tape for Yamauchi. So, and they released the odds, and it seems like it's a pick'em. So not much of an edge for me. Keiichiro Nakamura versus Oijon Park. This one, something that interests me finally, right? So Nakamura is a guy that's run through everyone. I like his style. He's got hands low, seems to have big limbs, and he just plans and knocks these guys out. There's someone that he reminds me of with the way he fights long and throws his punches, but I can't put my finger on it right now. But yeah, I do like his striking style, and he's basically finished everyone. And the one fight that he's lost via round 1 sub or KO, I can't find it online. And this Yeonjong Park seems to be a grappler. He likes to grapple. He gets a lot of his finishes, you know, through attritional take ground and pound. You know, takes guys down in mount, back control, pounds them out. Not the best level of competition. Young Boss is his nickname. You know, some of these guys. Yon Choi Nam seems to be the best, 20-8, and this Iorgili 7-2. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too impressed with him. He does a lot of weird stuff on tape, like you know, reaching for takedowns and kind of getting reversed, and slowing down and being exposed on the feet, looking uncomfortable. Hence why he reaches for takedowns, like out of panic. He's only 23, so he makes sense. He's a little bit green, but he's the favorite. He is. I don't know if these odds have moved on BetOnline. Dogfather, Conor McGregor. Yeah, kind of maybe kind of like Conor McGregor. You know, he's very very wide stance and very very long hooks from unorthodox angles. I don't know if that was a joke, but he actually does remind me of him. And yeah, so he's a favorite. Let me find these odds. All these names look the same to me online. Yeah, so your Jing is $1.29 and Nakamura is a plus 285 underdog. I mean, I'm leading Nakamura. That's the first underdog shot I kind of like. You can't lay chalk on these road to UFC guys. So obviously there's a ton of questions like Nakamura, how did he look in that round 3 fight that he lost? How is his grappling? He stuffed a few takedowns in these fights that I've watched. Obviously, everyone is trying to take him down. So, yeah, I mean, dog or pass for me. That one interests me. Shai Ying versus Kai Yoshida. This is one of the first ones I taped. And I know Ying from previous road to UFC. He lost a split to Sahota. Sahota, a chinny, really long Indian guy, striker that got knocked out brutally on road to UFC. I faded him there against another Choi or Kim, whatever his name is. And yeah, he kind of Yin is kind of short, compact, very athletic wrestler. Not much finishing upside. He's lost another fight to a wrestler right before road to UFC, and then they gave him Sahota, and then he lost that one too. It was kind of a damage versus control. But he actually hurt Sahota on the feet. He throws down. He's not scared to throw on the feet. So another grappler versus striker matchup. He's fighting Kai Yoshida. He has a black belt. I'm willing to say either karate or taekwondo black belt. He throws really good kicks. That's the first thing that stuck out to me. And he gets taken down a lot, and he can be backpacked. And these are low-level guys, right? 7-9, 16-21. 3-3. This 3-0 guy that beat him last is decent. And he scissor choked him, which is a bit awkward. So when he uses his legs to choke him out. I've hit that in training, but, it was on a white belt. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, again, it feels like another pick and fight. Actually, no, it doesn't. Sorry. I lean Yin because he's quite young. He's fought a high level of competition. He's proved that he can be competitive against Sahota, who's probably the toughest level of opposition on both these guys' records. And what is he? He's 26, 27. He's had that experience. He can come back on road and try again, but I had him at about 60%, 65 maybe, just because he doesn't have much finishing upside. And that's where he's at. That's what the line is. Actually, no, he's way more juiced. $1.39, $1.40 if you round it up. So that's annoying. It's a dog or pass for me at this point. Dog or pass, right? Kai Yoshida can easily win a striking-based decision, just like Sahota did. So yeah, dog or pass. Alrighty, and this main event right here, good fight. Bogre Jalisi versus Sebastian Salai. Salai is a Sid kickboxing guy. He's nice with it. That's the way I would describe him. Nice with it. Got that style, hands low, switches stances. Seems to be more of a striker than a grappler. First time I've taped him, and I gave him again maybe 55 to 60%. He seems to be the smarter fighter. Like he mixes it up well. Some of these fights in Eternal MMA are a bit of a red flag. Like Schlop, Dimps Gillies, and Tazar Malone. I know these guys well. They're from my regional scene. Pardon me. Not the best fighters. And, this Abdallah Blaida as well. He looks a bit like Izzy Adesanya. He lost that fight because he got out-grappled. He got out-physicaled. Right? So he's a bit of a weenie. Right? Jalisi, he's a wrestler with heavy hands. And I bet him against Song Yong-yu because he was a decent-sized underdog. Yo is not... He doesn't cover his price tag a lot of the time, but he was a lot smarter, and he just shut down. He shut down Old Mate by being smarter, and Old Mate just kept making stupid mistakes. So he's got skills like power and obviously wrestling. So I don't know if I really want to play Salai. at this price. Like they're giving him 60 to 65%. If anything, that just feels accurate. Like I might have to dig a bit deep to see, is it worth it? Right? Again, you don't want to play chalk on these road to UFC. The judging is also really bad on road to UFC. So I've seen Salai hurt. I've seen him out muscled before. Like he clearly wants a pretty fight. So yeah, it's almost minus 200 now. So not something I'm rushing to play. But he's nice to watch, old mate. He's it's good tape. Alrighty. Let's go to episode 2. I've lost my thing. Alrighty, episode 2, we have Aziz Kadarov versus Mansur. Kadarov, I never heard of till taping it. Right, he's a big grappler, bit of an ape. I mean, he's got a Chinese flag there, doesn't really look Chinese, but must be a Mongolian background or something. So yeah, he wants to grapple. He's obviously good at it, but there's some red flags on his tape. Like he's a little bit hittable. He seems to be a little bit, doesn't really set up any of his takedowns. Kera's a Fury FC guy. I'm not sure if he became the champion, but he beat some good guys in Fury, and yeah, some guys that we might see in the UFC. Not necessarily Demon Dixon, but Sam Kilmer. I think Sam Kilmer is on the Dana White Contender Series as a grappler, and he beat him in a decision. And he was a really high level credential grappler before. He got heel hooked by Lachlan Giles, right? One of the guys that I've trained with in the past in St Kilda. So yeah, he's a massive favorite. Bit risky in my opinion. Like he should be able to beat this guy, but he's going up against an ape that wants to grapple as well. He has been submitted a bunch in the past. That's probably why Kera is a decent sized favorite. Kera's also taking this on short notice, so something to take into consideration. Again, I'm not parlaying him or anything like that, so I'll move on. Rio Tito versus Aaron Tao. Aaron Tao is back, right? He's fought on Contender Series. He did quite well. It's aging well now after the guy that beat him. What was his name? Let me have a look. Elijah Smith. After Elijah Smith had his UFC debut against Vince Morales and doing quite well, that was a 1-1 fight going into the third. And despite Aaron Tao not looking the best on tape, he has some good intangibles. He's not like a city kickboxing guy like the rest of them. He's not very technical, but he has power. He has durability. He's got that typical, New Zealander, Cook Maori intangibles. Durability, and he'll break people. It's not always like a clean pull counter, but it's knees, it's elbows, it's ground and pound. So yeah, really low level of competition, and he's a massive favorite here. So what do I make of that? Like, look at this, $1.18. Rio Tito, like he's I think he's a Filipino, right? He's Indonesian, yeah. So that's those guys generally do quite awful on road to UFC. They're a level of competition on the Indonesian one, not ONE FC. It's not the greatest. Like he's got some power. He's knocking these dudes out, and his best win is this Yang. Yang competes in Brave FC generally. He has a bit of a salty record, 7-5, but he's beat some okay guys on Brave FC, and they've grappled him before. And Tito, Rio Tito grappled him as well. But I honestly thought Tito lost his fight. So his best win, I also thought, was a robbery. So I don't know, man. I think he can probably keep this competitive, but it's like, how is he going to handle the pressure and the apeness of Tao, right? It's hard to play these guys, but if you're going to fade anyone, fade Aaron Tao. Like he has to fly over to China, whatever this is. Yeah, I think it's in China, so dog a pass, man. Dog a pass. Moise Audio. The Maoris beat the crap out of the British. Yeah, that's true. Bit of a history lesson. Indonesian MMA, no ground game. Correct. Well, he is wrestling some people, so yeah. Iceland Farts. Jeremiah Wells pulled out. Thank you very much for that. I realized that after taping him last night. I actually liked him as a dog shot. I didn't understand. I wanted to see what all the love was about Gustafsson at chalk. And I kind of liked Wells. At worst case, I would have had to live bet Gustafsson when he became a dog. Blonde Dog, Hello, my friend. All right, let's move on. Jin Ou versus Chang Min Yun. All right, so Yun, he's the ONE FC guy. That's always a good sign when someone comes from ONE FC. That's a good regional uh, scene. He's been knocked out twice. He got knocked out by Tang, the current champion, which is no shame in that. He's really good. One of the best Chinese guys out there. Kai Tang, that was for the title, I'm pretty sure. All on the way to the title and, beat this Gorobets Ukrainian guy. He just fights very patient, very slow. He mixes in the wrestling. He got knocked out by Tanashaki as well. I didn't really watch that, so maybe there's something there. But yeah, likes to fight patiently, and a lot of these regional Asian guys love to fight patiently. Even his opponent, the Blue Devil, Jin Ou, 14-5, very patient, in and out striking, selects his shots. He's got power. He's been knocked out by Kai Kanda. Kanda was on last year's road to UFC, and then he rematched them and he won a split in a fight that barely anyone threw anything, right? Again, he has power as well. So to me, now that money has come in on Yon Chang Ming, he's minus 200. Maybe it's even worse. It's a dog or pass to me. Like, this feels like a really low output striking fight where both guys have been knocked out before. They might have durability issues and they're just going to stare at each other potentially, and the judging is horrendous. And yeah, I'd rather play the dog. But I don't have any strong leans at the moment. I'm not going to give you out leans until I tape extensively more, right? I just wanted to give you this podcast out a bit earlier because it's tomorrow night. So it's a little bit over 24 hours. But yeah, dog or pass for me. Alrighty, let's move on to the co-main event. Gulali versus Saki. We've got another Indian lad in road to UFC. Traditionally, not good. They don't go well unless Jubilee, unless your name is Anel Jubilee. And yeah, these guys, they both seem similar. They both like to strike. Sakia has good striking. He likes to grapple as well. Has some submissions, but obviously this Aguilari guy seems better. He's a massive favorite, massive favorite. $1.14. That's a bit excessive. Honestly, if I was forced to, I would play Sakai, just because we've seen Jubilee. Anel Jubilee was a massive underdog to Kim, a well-known commodity in the regional scene, a Korean that's fought in Rising, that's fought in One. And Jubilee beat him. He stood on the feet with him for 3 rounds and he beat him. And Kim hits hard, and Jubilee's been knocked out a bunch since. And Kim didn't knock him out there. So crazy things happen, right? Why can't this Indian guy that seems to have technical striking and some subs stand with this guy, Aguli, and keep it competitive, right? So, yeah, dog or pass, but we'll see. Cameron Lee versus Dong Hyun Su, right? Cameron Lee has come back. He's fighting again in the main event. They give him another chance. I think this is his third in a row, right? He hits like a truck, right? If he doesn't knock you out, though, his fights tend to go to a real low output striking battle. And yeah, I mean, he got submitted by his mate Yazi. Doesn't really have much of a ground game. He's good to play at chalk against guys that are chinny. He hits very, very hard, like Kai Lu, for example. But against Kanda, back and forth, close striking fight. And then after failing in road to UFC, he fought this Minwoo Kim guy, very low output fight, and then fought Ali Yousefi, 13-14, very low output fight. So yeah, he's fighting Dong Hyun Su, another guy that reminds me of the Korean fighter that's fighting Billy Goff in 2 weeks, right? In and out striking. Obviously, he's not a southpaw like that guy, but in and out. And likes to be technical and has some power. He can be a little bit low volume, and he mixes in takedowns. So that alone, makes it dog or pass for me. Not the best level of competition, and he's been knocked out twice. Byung-Seo Kim, and by Joy Hyun Park. We'll talk about on episode 3 or 4. Can't remember which one it is. So not the worst KO loss, and it was 5 years ago. So, I'm not going to say it's a dog or pass. He's currently at the favorite. Where is he at? Okay. Lee's worse than minus 200. I'm going to say it's dog or pass right now. So, but these lines are very volatile. The very small limits. So people are probably just parlaying, putting $50, $100 on these, and they're just jumping up and down. So we'll see where these lines settle. There'll be some spots. People are not the best at capping road to UFC, so they'll probably give us a good line here or there. So yeah, I'll say dog or pass right now. But maybe if he goes to minus 200, Lee, if he can run through him, maybe there's some value. So that's it. Not much that sticks out. Nakamura on episode 1 really sticks out to me. And yeah, maybe I'll play this Indian dude. That's about it. But more tape needs to be done. More tape needs to be done. There will be some good spots. And I'll be doing an episode for 3 and 4. Let's go through the comments, and then I'm out of here. Our over-under is out. No Icelandic farts. This literally just got released a few hours ago. So over-unders, who knows when we'll get them. Shout out Shady. Big Steve, you have a GV MMA bet for me? I'm on standby. I'll give you one, mate. Just be patient. Nick Rodriguez, bless your heart for doing a breakdown for Road to UFC. We need safe parlay pieces. Well, I'm not sure safe parlay pieces will be found in Road. It's a shame Big Bird is traveling all around Europe because he loves his chalky Road to UFC. Maybe Fang. People love parlaying Fang on episode 1. Aussie Fight Fan, Tao found the back door to another UFC roster spot opportunity. Good for him. Look, honestly, Tao exceeded my expectations on Contender Series, and I thought, maybe he has potential. He at least has heart, right? More Zaddy, I'm going to fade the Indian. Which one? Kera? You're going to fade Kera? I hope you're not fading Saki at $1.14. How about Josh Hockett from State beating up bums? Yeah, well, we'll see him on Contender Series. So, George, it's been a while. Thanks for the high-level breakdowns of these low-level fights. Yeah, hopefully there'll be some high-level bets, right? When I get through 3 and 4, I will retape and we're going to make some bets, my friends. Other than that, peace out, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a day.